Welcome to In Pursuit 360. Today we are talking about the physical fitness test in becoming a law enforcement officer. So if you want to be a law enforcement officer, you probably 98% chance you're going to have to take some kind of a physical fitness test. So that's what we're talking about today. So let's get into it. All right, welcome to In Pursuit 360. Today we are talking about the physical fitness test or exam for law enforcement agencies. Now, I cannot tell you what every physical fitness test across the country in every department, in every state, every county, every city, every federal agency is going to be. If you're interested in an agency or a department, then you can probably look at their website and they're going to tell you what that physical fitness test is going to be for you. Some of them are state standards required by academies or certifications. Some of them are local standards. Some of them kind of have their own thing, but they all vary. Even the federal system is different. Like, as an example, my former Pentagon police, they changed their fitness standard compared to what the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center had. So agencies can modify and change as long as they stay within an overall standard. So subscriber Matt, thank you, Matt, out there. Matt shared that the things to consider during physical fitness is you need to be aware of what that test is going to consist of, and then you need to make sure that you build yourself up to whatever that standard is. So as an example, Matt's example was you had to do so many push-ups, so many sit-ups within a minute. You had to do run a mile and a half. So his thing is that if you got to do push-ups and sit-ups, then you need to practice push-ups and sit-ups. And you need to make sure, what do they consider a proper push-up? What do they consider a proper sit-up? And are you preparing yourself for that test? He suggested that if you have to run a mile and a half, that you should really probably get pretty comfortable running 2 to 3 miles. So in other words, if you can run past that mile and a half, then running the mile and a half, that'll be almost nothing, right? Once you get used to it. But you got to build yourself up to it. I've talked about some fitness issues in the past. They've probably been more about maintaining your physical fitness once you get the job, how important it is. But if you want to get the job, you need to make sure your physical fitness is good to go. So you need to make sure that you're building up and prepping. Don't think, well, I'm only 23 or 26 or whatever, and hey, I'm in pretty good shape. I can do that, no problem. Are you sure? When was the last time that you did nothing but push-ups for 1 solid minute? When was the last time you did sit-ups for 1 solid minute? When was the last time you ran a mile and a half? Are you sure you can do this? Have you done it lately? You need to practice. You need to get yourself in shape. You need to be prepared. So get out there and start moving. One of the best full body exercises that you can do is a true burpee. I hate burpees. I can't stand them. I never liked them. Once I learned what they were, don't like them now that I know what they are. But it is a full body exercise. It works almost every muscle in your body, and it works on your cardiovascular. It hits just about everything, right? So that burpee, if you include a push-up and a leap at the end, and all you have to do is Google burpees. I am not going to demonstrate that for you. But look up a burpee if you don't know what it is, right? Include the push-up when you go down, right? Push up, back up, bring the feet in, and when you come up, give that leap. So that way you're working, get those leg muscles in there, and it also helps to work on your core. So if you do a burpee, it works on things like, and Matt brought this up too, things that you need to consider as you get older and you do this job is what's going to end up going out on you. So what about like your knees, right? So if you build up the tendons and ligaments and the muscles in your legs, it'll help support your knees and your ankles and your hips, right? Because as we get older, these things start to wear out and we don't really think about it, but keeping the muscles and tendons and ligaments and stuff throughout all these joints and all these areas is really key in staying healthy and keeping those those joints and areas good to go. You're going to get in a foot pursuit as a law enforcement officer, and what happens when you step off a curb wrong? You know, are those ligaments and stuff, are they good enough to help you stay healthy or recover from a twisted ankle or a rolled ankle or whatever? You want to know what I'm talking about? Go watch the exercise program that Patrick Mahomes goes through on a regular basis to keep all of his muscles and ligaments and everything stretched and prepared for all the different angles that he throws the ball and runs and gets, you know, all that stuff. He has a very specific program that is dedicated to making sure that his joints, ligaments, and tendons and muscles are all built to be able to handle all the different things that he does. Well, it's no different in what we do in law enforcement, because there are a lot of things that we may have to do that other people just don't think about. So you need to keep these joints and stuff, you know, flexible and viable in order to survive these different things that we end up getting into. So kind of keep that in mind in your physical fitness program, right? Stretching and the little things that that kind of help build the muscles up around, right? Like squats. Squats are good. You know, they build up those quads and everything, and you get going. And then what is it? Calf raises and build those calves up and everything that builds the muscles and stuff up around our joints. And then think about your lower back. All the extra weight you carry, the extra weight in the vest, the extra weight in the gun belt. If you're actually wearing a gun belt, a lot of places have gone to these multi-outer vests and stuff, but some people are still wearing gun belts. I've got a herniated disc in my lower back. Why? Because of the gun belt and crap that I wore for decades. Sitting in a cruiser, you know, in and out, in and out, in and out with all that extra weight. So, you know, all these things go into that physical fitness, but in preparing for that test, you need to prep ahead for all of it. Because once you get in the academy, guess what? They're going to make you put on a belt. They're going to put on some weight on your waist and all that. So prepare now. Think about things that strengthen all of your ligaments and tendons around all of your joints, right? It's very important. Think about your cardiovascular. Like I said, burpees are awesome. Burpees are an entire full body workout to include cardiovascular, and strengthen that core. You know, your gut area around your back and your lower back and all of that counts. So you want to prepare for a physical agility test. One, look at what they require. Two, figure out what exercises are going to best help you prepare. And three, and most important, do it. Go out and do the exercises. Do the preparation. You know, every year I had to go run a mile and a half when I was with the Pentagon. I hate running. I can't stand running. I've got stress fractures in both my legs from the military. But when I knew my time to run was coming up, I would go out there and I started running about 2 months in advance. And I started off slow because I hate to run. I didn't run all year, but 2 months in advance of my run, I would go out with my timer on my phone and I would time myself. And I would like walk for 30 seconds, jog for 30 seconds, walk for 30 seconds, jog for 30 seconds until I knew I could accomplish my mile and a half in the time that I needed to do it. So, but I prepared in advance. You need to do the same thing. When it comes to the physical agility test, prepare yourself in advance. Don't take it for granted. Don't, back to the other video, respect the process. Respect the process. So if you respect the process and the physical agility testing, you're going to, the very day you turn in your application is the very day that you should start doing your physical fitness test or preparation. You need to be ready. And not only that, it's good for you anyway. So even if you don't make it, or even if you do make it, or even if you change your mind and never become an officer ever because you just decide it's not for you, physical fitness is a big deal. God only gives us one body for our life. If you don't take care of it from the get-go, if you don't start taking care of it now, they don't come with replacement parts. Sorry. Go ahead and screw up your tendons. And I mean, I've had both my ACLs replaced and both my knees. My knees scream almost every day now. Why? Because I didn't take care of myself. I didn't know about this stuff. I didn't keep my stuff stretched out or build up muscle mass around those joints or any of that. So I've had both my ACLs replaced and every day my knees are killing me. So respect the process, respect the idea of your own physical fitness and your health. Always keep in mind, even when you become an officer, that maintaining this health is extremely important. Maintaining your physical fitness standard is extremely important. You're 22, you become an officer. Bad guys between 18 and 23. 10 years later, you're 32, you're an officer. Your bad guys are still 18 to 23. Now you're 37, you're an officer. Your bad guys are still 18 to 23. Do you notice a trend? Do you notice a trend here? No matter what, you're going to get older. You will get older every year, guaranteed. But your bad guys that you're going up against, they're always in that range, 18 to 23, 18 to 24. They're always younger. They're younger. If you don't take care of yourself, one of these days, one of these young guys is going to beat your butt. All right? So stay healthy, take care of yourselves, be mindful of how you're doing things and how you're preparing. All right? So again, thank you, Matt, for that extra little tip. I'm glad I went back over the physical fitness, the testing and preparation. Those were some really good ideas that you had. Don't know that I'm done with it yet. I may have missed a couple things, but I'm kind of checking off bits and pieces here, so we'll go back. So again, hey, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel down below. Give me thumbs up, thumbs down. If you have to, thumbs down. Do me a favor. Tell me why. Tell me what can I do better for you in the future. And then, of course, you hit that bell notification down there. It will tell you when the next video is coming out. And hey, if you didn't already know, in the comments down below is a link to SpartanTrainingSystems.com. I do a 15-minute free consult, and I also do mock interviews and things like that to help you prepare for your pursuit in law enforcement. So go check that out, SpartanTrainingSystems.com. Also in the comments down below is NextLevelTraining.com. So if you don't have a lot of familiarization with firearms, or even if you do and you want some more practice and you're not sure about practicing with a live firearm, NextLevelTraining.com. They sell what's called a SIRT gun, which is these little things right here. Slide doesn't work, but the magazine actually comes out. You can practice magazine reloads, but it does allow for trigger press and all that, and sight alignment, sight picture, stance, all those things that you can work on in the safety of your home without having to worry about having any negligent discharges or anything like that. So anyway, Next Level Training Systems, Next Level Training. And there's a discount code down below, InPursuit059. It'll get you 10% off. You can get those SIRT guns in any kind of a model. That was Smith & Wesson M&P. You can also get Glock 17, Glock 19. You can get all these different models that they have. So whatever holster you're using, it'll fit. So again, I thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget, subscribe down below to really help me out. Thumbs up will help me out with the algorithm. Hey, if you want to support the channel, there's even like a donate button down below. Go ahead and hit that. Hey, $2, $5, whatever, whatever helps would be awesome, and I can improve the look and the sound and all that of all the videos that come out in the future. But in the meanwhile, my goal is to help you become a law enforcement officer, because we need some really good people out there. So in the meanwhile, y'all be safe out there.